Oh, Gizelle, you in danger, girl. You are in danger, girl. We got to talk about Giselle's interview with today.com. Okay? I think it was with today.com. Yeah. In it, she basically says that Candiace always wants to be a victim. Clearly, she has nothing else going on. Girl, don't you need to sing a song? Don't you need to make a record? Go do that. Whoo! It's about to get crazy up in here. Let's dive further into exactly what Gizelle had to say, Sky Squad. All right. So this is taken from our friends over at the Neighborhood Talk. We reacted to it on the Instagram. Listen, I'm going off on the Instagram. Why? Because life is short. Why not? Okay. Um, and on Instagram, I can act up a little faster into a lot of different things. So be sure to follow me on my gram. Okay. It's in the description down below. But right now, let's get into this. All right. So Giselle made these accusations about Chris. One, that she felt uncomfortable. But then again, like we always say, she also stated that she felt like he was a sneaky link and she felt like he was trying to see if she was with it, which is something she seems to forget every time she talks about this. So I really hope that they replay that at the reunion. And I hope that Candiace brings it up at the reunion as well, or that Chris brings it up. But if I was Chris, I wouldn't even look in her direction. She wouldn't even exist at this point. But beyond that, she says, because I know Candiace is very sensitive and she can be a bit dramatic, I was very careful to choose my words carefully with her. When they asked about how she felt about, and I did watch the interview, when they asked how she felt about her, the way she told Candiace about this information. She says, at the time, she and I were friends, so I wasn't going to say anything that was going to be super inflammatory and hurt her, but she took it to a whole other level of nonsense. And she, in the interview, does state, she says she didn't put any extra stank on it. But I'm like, you put the stank on it when you talk to Robyn about it, but maybe she don't remember that, okay? And the stank being, many a married man have tried me, so maybe she's suffering some PTSD from that. I do not know, but for this purpose, she said she felt like he was a sneaky link and he was trying to see if she was with it. Okay. So she does not go into that. And no one has seemingly reminded her that she said that yet. And I don't know why. Anyway, she says that um Candiace always wants to be a victim. We're no longer friends, so I don't feel like I need to hold back anything anymore. What happened happened, and it was unfortunate, and no one's going to tell me how to feel in a situation like that. And the thing about it, Gizelle, is nobody is really trying to tell you. We're not trying to manage your feelings, but we are going to talk about what you said, okay? And your feelings and what you said are two different things, right? If you felt uncomfortable, then you probably should have just left it at that, okay? And then there's the question of why you waited, but those are questions that I try not to ask people because people may have a variety of reasons in real life why they may not deal with the situation right away, right? But given that this is on a TV show and she waited, that leads people to wonder, since you brought it to the screen, did you want to really just make this into more of a moment for a story, like for to play out on the screen? I had to stop short of using it as a storyline because I hate that term, as I told y'all, right? All right. So then she goes on to say, and this is us just picking it all apart. You know what I'm saying? Dissecting it like we do. She says, I think she has taken the position, and she's talking about Candiace, of, oh, I'm just going to deflect. I'm going to speak about Gizelle and try to trash Gizelle, because Gizelle likes to speak about Gizelle in third person, as opposed to talking to your husband. Like, why would your husband even do that? Let's start there. She says, of course, she wants to create a story. This could have died because it was a simple conversation, but she wants to create a story. She wanted to carry this out throughout the season. She wanted to take this to girls trip, which she did. It's just exhausting to me a little bit. Clearly, she has nothing else going on. Girl, don't you need to go sing a song? Don't you need to make a record? Go do that. So my thought is this. For me, I don't think it's Candiace that's carrying this through, because it seems to me that Candiace is only reacting to the stuff that's brought to her. Ashley's brought something to her. Ashley brought something else to her. Deborah tried to bring something to her. Y'all talked about it at the table with Deborah and the pretty little crew clique or whatever. So, for me, it's like she's not the person during the season that seems to be taking this places. And even at their home celebrating her graduation, it was Ray that brought it up to Chris. So who's bringing it? Who's zooming who? Right? Um. So she also brought up Dr. Wendy. Okay. Because there was a question on the table, about whether or not she has a track record of attacking other people's marriages. And shout out to our friends at Urban Bill Mag for picking up this portion of it. And Gizelle says, I don't find that to be true. That's a very good PR response, which I will say is Gizelle's strong suit, because Gizelle has a way of pretty much minimizing things that are brought against her. And that's a really strong skill when you are in the heat of battle, because Gizelle's superpower is in the downplay and the dismissal, but her superpower definitely ain't the read. You know what I'm saying? She's not a good reader, but she's very good at sort of minimizing and dismantling in that way. So, everybody got a superpower, right? And this isn't, please don't mistake this as me disliking Gizelle. I don't dislike her. I think that this is a character that she plays, and she is playing a character. In this woman's real life, I don't know what she's like. I can only tell you what we talk about and what we see on the screen. So don't take this as a, like Gizelle, because I don't take any of this personally at this point. I'm just reacting to it because it's fun. Meanwhile, Gizelle says she feels like Wendy's reactions to subjects brought up by Ashley last year showed her that she can't be cool with Wendy. She says she took it and ran with it in the opposite direction. Well, what else would you do when when she sees that you are continuously bringing up rumors about her husband on TV, not once, not twice, but 3 times the lady? Okay. So Gizelle then says, for me, it just speaks to the kind of person she is. What? Defending her husband and her husband's honor because he's not there to do so? She also says, I always want to be able to have conversations with women, and she's just unable to do that. Well, it really wasn't you having a conversation with her. It was Ashley. Y'all sent Ashley over there to do it. You know what I'm saying? Now, granted, Ashley had a choice in the matter. You know what I'm saying? But and to a certain degree, Ashley does not ever seem to present things to people in a attacking manner. So, but I think it's just the fact that it was brought up at all is Wendy's issue, or at least it was at that point. So anyway, Gizelle goes on to say, so I'm just no longer interested. That's why when she came to me in the beginning of the season, I was like, yeah, no, and goodbye. Okay. She also talked about I want to go back to this thing in her interview with Today. She did also say something about Ultimate Girls Trip. She says that this gets brought up again in Ultimate Girls Trip. She alludes to them ending the season in an okay place. And I don't know if you guys remember, there was another, I think, Watch What Happens Live, where Gizelle indicated or suggested that maybe Chris had apologized to her. So I don't know if maybe that happens at the end of the season or not, but we'll see. But we know based on Ultimate Girls Trip that they are not in a good place. This gets brought up there and it just continues on, and they are no longer friends. Also, she gives us a bit of tea about Karen versus Robyn. So apparently, Karen versus Robyn happens on the last day of the Mexico trip. So I doubt we'll see it in this episode, but we may see the start of it in this episode. She doesn't really go into what causes it, but she does say that there was some tequila involved. So, it was very interesting. It was very interesting because they were asking her about, Karen's accusations about, Juan Dixon allegedly having some other woman who was maybe like blonde haired or looked like Karen in some way, shape, or form. I was assuming she meant blonde hair. And just listening to Gizelle's responses, it was just very interesting. So I'm gonna place the link for it down in the description down below, again with the sources as well, because I want you guys to make sure that we're supporting our sources, supporting our people. This is I always like to think of this space as an ecosystem, and when we all support each other, it just creates a nice little synergy for not only us as reviewers and commentators, but also for, I think, you guys who are also, finding information and passing it along so that we all have stuff to talk about. You know what I'm saying? And so that's why I always make sure to, mention the sources and stuff like that and shout them out, because, this is all it's all we're all connected in that way. So anyway, make sure you guys subscribe to the channel if you haven't already done so. Hit that notification bell button, and I will catch you in the next video.